take pictures sometimes. And last year in summer, I had a friend who needed some promotional images, and she's like, "Oh, would you take photos of me? I'll pay you." And I'm like, "That's great," even though I've never really worked with a model. And I was like, "Okay, I'll get back to you." And I asked some of my friends who take pictures, I'm like, "What do I charge?" And they'd be like, "You'd be an idiot to charge less than $100. So I get back in contact, I'm like, $70. Because I have way more self-awareness than I have self-confidence. She's like, "That's great." So it's like, okay, well, we need to find a location. And I thought, the Rubber Bowl, Akron Rubber Bowl down there by the airport and the big blimp hangar. And, I was there a few months earlier, which was the first time I'd ever been there. And it was great. There were like a dozen other people there. There's people like playing catch on the football field and other people just walking around taking pictures. I'm like, it's fine. It's open to the public. I mean, yeah, technically it's trespassing, but you go down to the parking lot and you can walk onto the field. There's a fence there that's just been moved out of the way. You can't just walk onto the field. You can roll a wheelchair onto the field. It's wheelchair accessible. There are buildings in downtown Akron that are not wheelchair accessible. So like, it's fine, we'll go there. And it was a beautiful day, and the sun was great natural lighting. We're there for like 2.5, 3 hours, and we're about to leave, and a police SUV pulls up. It's like, well, we're on our way out. They'll be like, "You get a warning." And they did not give us a warning. They gave us a ticket. And they were saying, like, it's really frustrating because they're like, "Well, normally we just give you a warning." And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like, but the boss said we need to fill them out now." And I'm like, And I've talked to cops since, and they're like, "How come you didn't just get a warning?" I'm like, "Exactly." So it's super frustrating because as they're filling this out, which takes about 10 minutes, there are 2 cars independently that have come by filled with like 20-somethings that see the cop and do a U-turn and leave. And it's like, but come on, everybody's doing it. In fact, if you go on Google Maps and Google Akron Rubber Bowl, there is an image, there's someone who's taken the old benches from the bleachers, moved them onto the field, and it just says, "Send nudes" in 15-foot tall letters. I bet they didn't get a ticket. So we go to court, and it's like, ends up being like a fine of about $100, or since I'm poor, I can just do community service for a day. And I'm like, I'll go with that, because I would ultimately lose money after working, which just feels wrong on a basis. So they're like, "Oh, come in and do like a day community service." So I have to get there by 7:45, because we start working at 8. And I get there at 7:30, and then we just wait. And I noticed that when you sign in, they have a list. You say, "You must read this, obey these rules." And they're like super obvious rules, like, don't show up on drugs. Don't leave halfway through the day and not come back. Don't catcall women. Don't take things from work to use at home. And I'm thinking, like, you could just have like one line that says, "Don't be an idiot." And like, that would cover pretty much everything. And I noticed at the bottom, it's like, it also says, "No boomboxes or Walkmans." And I feel like that's kind of a dated reference. Like a guy showing up and he's like, "Oh man." But I was a little upset because I figured maybe I could listen to like podcasts, and I thought I would be able to work more efficiently because I have a backlog of This American Life episodes to listen to, and like Ira Glass's whiny voice would just like make me work harder. So I'm like, I don't get to do that. So like we're sitting, and like a little after 8, we're supposed to start at 8, so it's like 8:15, and the guy finally comes out and talks to us, and proceeds to go over the list of obvious things that I just read. And I'm like, and then he seems like really, really strict. Like, you gotta follow it. I'm like, okay, just go along with what he's doing. And he's like, yeah, and if you're injured or something, you gotta tell us. You just go home because we can't work, we can't give you credit. Oh, and like if you're on any sort of prescription drugs, you gotta tell us. And I was like, I brought an ibuprofen in case my knee hurts. Do I have to tell you about that? He's like, no, but he's like, that's fine, you can get over the counter, but you know what those are? Those are opioids. And you take too many, you die. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, my brain is saying, no, those are not opioids, those are NSAIDs, they're non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. This is what my mind said. My mouth said, oh, because this is not the hill I'm going to die on. I'm just like, just let them talk, whatever. So we're supposed to start work at 8:58, climb into the trucks. Which is fine. It's like, we've already wasted an hour. Because not only, like, this is government work, right? Like, we can just slack off, essentially. So we get into the truck. It's one of those extended cabs, comfortably seats 5. And there are 5, and I'm the only one who puts on the seatbelt. Which, yes, you'd think that's the case, where everyone's like, look at this weakling. But really, like on a subconscious level, I'm sending a message to everyone else in the truck that my life is more valuable than theirs. So we get in the truck, and we go a block west to McDonald's and Park, because we need breakfast. And I'm like, this is great. So I'm like, I ate before I came, but yeah, I'll sit in the car and I don't know, play on my cell phone, which is something you're not allowed to do, but like no one's around, like it will be taken away from you and given back at the end of the day. But I'm like, it's fine. They're like, it's fine. Don't worry. That's just the sign. We don't care about the sign. Otherwise, we would have updated it when people got iPhones instead of boomboxes. So yeah, and I'm talking with some other guys who are still out in the truck, and we're talking like, yeah, was that weird? Like the whole opioid thing? Like, I'm not the only one who knows that, right? And they're like, yeah, that's weird. And then like when the guy who's supposed to be supervising us comes back in, like someone even brought it up. He's like, wasn't that weird when he said they were opioids? He's like, yeah, it's just ibuprofen. And then he proceeds to say, like, ibuprofen, like, I don't know, it's still kind of dangerous. And I'm like, well, yeah, a little. He's like, no, because that's what Bill Cosby said that he gave to those women. And it's one of those moments where you're like the entire universe has just shifted 5 feet to the left. Where you're like, I kind of speak up. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's what happened. Like, that wouldn't put you to sleep. And like, I mean, I know that, yeah, you gotta pick your battles, but this seems like maybe he's been given some bad information. I was like, no, I don't, that was worse. So we're off. But we don't really have anything to do, so we're driving around Akron looking for something to do, which is amazing, because we've all had a job where you have to look busy. But I've never had a job where like I have to look busy, but also there's like 4 other people with me that I have to like convince to look busy while I still maintain some sort of managerial position. So it's fine, and you know, I'm still the only one buckled in, and I'm not regretting my choice, because the guy driving has the confidence of someone driving a city vehicle that's a cop car, but is not driving a city vehicle that's a cop car. It's just a truck with yellow lights on the back. So he's not really obeying a lot of the traffic laws, and I'm just like, oh God, we're gonna die. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna die. I'm actually buckled in. Oh God, I'm gonna have to give a super large statement because I'm only gonna be the only survivor. Oh no, am I not gonna get credit for the day when I survive? Oh man, and I'm gonna be late for dinner, but I won't have an appetite because I'll have survivor's guilt. But we make it, and as we're driving, the guy who thinks that Bill Cosby has given ibuprofen to women over the years is honking at women because of course he is. And I'm like, what are you doing? Even at this, I'm like, that's not useful. That's not gonna, no one has ever gotten a woman that way. And also, we're in North Hill. So I see this a tiny woman in a brightly colored wrap, and I'm thinking like, what if she's a refugee who just got here? You're gonna cause an international incident. So it's fine, and then like we still don't have anything to do. Let's get the car washed. I'm like, oh man, I have to wash this thing. No, we just go to like this place and you drive through a car wash. I'm like, this is amazing. And then like for an hour we just picked up trash, but I found $10, so I'm still feeling pretty good. And the whole time I'm talking with these people that I'm working with, and it's like I'm the only one who's kind of doing this voluntarily. Like a lot of them are like, they're like from halfway houses. Because there's a guy who asked if I could, like at lunch, oh, I didn't tell you about lunch, because the sign says, you are given half an hour for lunch. If you come back late. That's it, you get kicked out, you get no credit for the day. Lunch lasted 73 minutes. Potentially because the 2 supervisors fell asleep in it during it. And I'm like, this is amazing, but I don't say it loudly because I don't want to wake them up. I'm like, this is amazing. But during lunch, one of the guys asked if he could use my phone because he's in a halfway house. He hasn't been on Facebook for 4 years, which sounds like heaven. And I'm like, because he wants to go back on his account. I'm like, don't do it, man. You're free. Don't go back. No, don't do it. Plus, like, you're gonna have to catch up on a bunch of memes. You're gonna be like, I don't know, why is Kermit sipping tea? It's just there's a learning curve there. Just don't go on Facebook. And he's like, yeah, but there's a bunch of people that like it'd be an easy way to get contact with them. I don't know how to contact them otherwise. And I'm like, yeah, that's weird. It almost makes it sound like it's a utility that should be regulated. So I gave it to him, and he can't remember his password. I'm like, well, have it send it to your email address. He can't remember his email address password. I'm like, I don't know what to tell him. And then I'm thinking, like, wait, they haven't been online for 4 years. I can mess with these people. Hey, nobody says what's up anymore. They say altitude check, swizzle pants. Okay, I didn't do this to anyone. I didn't even break the news that Prince had died. Like, I'm just like, this is keeping me entertained, right? So finally, like, the day's over. It's over an hour and 7 minutes early. And they kind of keep us around. They're like, well, you're supposed to leave here at nah, just go, whatever. So I get my paperwork, I drop it off, and I'm like, at first I thought it was gonna be bad, but it actually turned out pretty great, but I'm still not gonna trespass again. Thanks.